Celebrity streets are on fire, and we got to talk about it. Like the video's intro plays, because we got a lot to get into, and I need a haircut.
Could somebody please make it make sense?
Make it make sense to me in election.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Make sense.
Make it make sense. You knew what was up.
No Diddy, huh? You scared now, huh? I know y'all on them tapes. Freaky.
Big moves.
I know.
Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Let's talk about that. You're a beast, okay? All right? You and Biggie Smalls down here, right? You're a beast.
Beast, yes. How dare you?
Right? You are ugly, okay? You're ugly. You're an ugly homosexual.
Sandra, I really do try to be on time. I try, but then I get into researching something else pops up. Straight shooters be in my DMs, and then y'all see what happens. I'll be like 2-3 minutes late, but I never try to be late. I never try to do CP time. Y'all, if you remember correctly, there was a lady who came onto my show randomly. She was just watching because I was actually talking about her and didn't even know that she was in the chat. She came and gave a full account of what happened between her, Diddy, and Shyne on the night that she was pow-powed in the face. Well, Shyne has kind of given credence to the things that she said, although I believed her off rip. She is now wanting to reopen the case based on Shyne's comments. Here we go.
The ministry, okay, when they actually say women's rights, equal rights, gender equality. Oh, she had to run to the States because she's afraid of her life. That's what she's saying now. We don't really believe that. Carry on, Prime Minister. That's what we need for the focus on. What an entertainer who has nothing to do with politics, he's facing accusations. He has not been convicted of anything. Nothing has been proven, even in a civil court where the threshold is much lower. I obliged you, just to share that certainly it has opened wounds for me, but I don't know. I'm not telling you the veracity of it. I maintain that I never shoot nobody, that there were other guns.
I maintain that I never did it. We already know, or I don't know if everybody knows this, but I read over the court documents. What people did not know initially was the fact that there were multiple guns and there was a pow-pow that was thrown out of the window when Diddy, J-Lo, the security guard, and the driver were fleeing the police, and there was another one in a hidden compartment. It's always been stated that shots were fired from the one that Diddy had. This is a whole can of worms, guys, because the allegations are based on Little Rod's court case that Diddy actually bribed the jurors in the case. How Diddy and his bodyguard were acquitted is still a mystery. Shyne saying this gives credence to what she has been saying, the shooting victim.
I always said that. That has not changed. And that is the testimony that came out. Yes, welcome back, Andre Perez. Yes, man, go back to the ministry. We don't care when they actually say women's rights, equal rights, gender equality. Oh,
if somebody said a congressman, not only is Shyne in the Belizean parliament as the opposition leader, his dad has been that for years as well. So it's all through his family, Andrew King.
Were never removed, so there was never any forensic testing
Fragments
to
were
say
never removed.
Who it was. But the victims are vindicating me. Witnesses are vindicating me. But I have moved on. I'm not trying to relive that. And so I am appreciative of whatever contributions Diddy.
Why wouldn't he want to be fully vindicated? Yes, you moved on, but it's still a part of technically your legacy. That doesn't make sense.
It has made to help the people of Belize. I wish him well. I pray for him, and I pray for the alleged victims. And if it is true, may justice be served. If it is not, it's a tragedy, because a global icon would have been destroyed.
Have you spoken to him in solidarity, at least?
I've been in touch.
Is he one of your finance?
I've been in touch. What would be the point? I know that Diddy interviewed him a couple years ago when he was starting to do his bid for opposition leader. I know that he came in, he was finally able to come into the States again, but I think he's scared, in my opinion. I think that he knows that there's only so much he can say, and him even saying that is a big step.
Serious?
He has supported me openly, yes. Comments were never removed, so there was never.
Diddy has supported him openly, but they wanted to know specifically, was he financed by Diddy? I went and I tried to do the research. Diddy endorsed him, but I never saw anything about him financing him. And Belize does not have the same type of stipulations that other countries do, where you have to actively have all of your donors listed. But I looked for it, and I want to know, did Diddy help finance you, Shyne?
Never any forensic testing to say who it was. It opens wounds. When you hear the victim saying that it was Diddy that shot her, that is what is the most remarkable. Oh, you didn't see that?
I saw that.
Okay. And that was triggered by a lawsuit from a producer that produced on the Love album, who is making accusations. And in those accusations, he says that the gentleman confessed to the shooting. And that is what stands out to me the most, because, I've done my best to put it behind me and to move forward. But it certainly reopens the wounds that I've been saying this all along. Everyone knew all along that I was the fall guy. But my political...
I was the fall guy.
Enemies, and it opens wounds. When you hear, the victim saying that it was Diddy that shot her, that is what is the most remarkable. Oh, you didn't see that?
I saw that.
Okay. Detractors tried to make me into, this criminal. But everyone knew that I was a young kid that took the fall. Everyone knew that. That was the story for all the years. Until I got
court and never really pointed the finger at.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that was a decision that I made as a young man. And I'm not going back on that. I'm not about to point the finger. No, I'm not going to get into that.
Well, others are doing it, sir.
I'm just saying that I maintained my innocence all this time. I said I was defending myself. I didn't get into who did what. But the victim is telling you who did what. And I understand that there are other witnesses.
Is she accurate?
I'm not going to get into that. But it does open wounds, and detractors try to make me into this criminal, but everyone knew that I was a young kid that took the fall. Everyone knew that was.
Now, if you don't know this story, because I see a lot of you guys saying that you don't know what happened, Shyne was involved in the street life. The people who Diddy had beef with that night actually knew Shyne. Shyne was in no danger. Diddy was doing what he does, throwing around money, walking in the club with J-Lo. Allegedly, J-Lo had his pow in her purse, and we'll get into J-Lo in a minute with the TikToker who's passed away. But Shyne really jumped in this for his boss, but he has always maintained that he was not the person who pow-powed her in the face. After this all ended, Shyne was the only person who had to pay for his own legal defense. Everybody else around there and in that situation did not. The driver, I believe, sued Diddy because he was forced to drive, forced to flee the police, and he was now in it and admitted that Diddy was trying to bribe him while he was forcing him, basically saying that he could not go down for this. So you got J-Lo, who at this point is just effing for tracks, trying to get into the hip hop world, wearing bandana dresses and Versace, dating Diddy, who was obviously not her type. You have a driver who makes no money, who's being told, we're going to pay you off, you're going to take the fall for this. Somebody throwing a pow-pow out the window, and somebody else hiding a pow-pow in a hidden compartment in the car. That's what allegedly happened that night. And who got left behind? Shyne. Who had to pay for his own legal defense? Shyne. Who is now, in my opinion, still to some degree protecting Diddy? Shyne. I think y'all are all caught up.
Was the story for all the years until I got
court and never really pointed the finger at.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that was a decision that I made as a young man, and I'm not going back on that. I'm not about to point the finger. No, I'm not going to get into that.
Well, others are doing it, sir.
I'm just saying that I maintained my innocence all this time. I said I was defending myself. I didn't get into who did what. But the victim is telling you,
and he lost
I am relieved that people are saying what the truth is, that I did not shoot those people.
This is more than I have heard Shyne say in a while as it pertains to this situation. So I'm glad that he did it. Do I think he's holding back? Yes. Do I think it's even potentially smart that he's holding back if he is fearful? Absolutely. Do I think that maybe Diddy is financing some of his campaign and helping him with the logistics of him being able to come back and forth to America? Absolutely. Do I know that to be true? That's why it's alleged. It's just my opinion. Happy says, this is much bigger than Diddy. Shyne knows that Diddy's connected to political powers and he is afraid of Diddy's puppet masters. Happy, we're about to get into all that as it relates to Donald Trump Jr. Gigi says, I think Diddy paid him. That's why he won't say. Now, what I have heard is Diddy did not pay him directly. What happened was, after all this happened, L.A. Reid then picked him up and he was able to produce an album that really wasn't that great. Didn't technically, is that the album that he produced while in prison? The point is, I've heard that he was paid off, but just not through Diddy directly, so that it couldn't be traced back. But again, that's just my opinion. Young Black Economist, thank you for joining. Let's get into Trump. Now, shout out to the straight shooter who hit me up with this morning. I knew I was supposed to go live a little bit earlier, but I was still doing some research. So Janine, thank you so much for that. And Bonji sent me something. I haven't got to look at it yet, but I'm pretty sure it was this as well. Let's get into it.
Person parties. I was there, right? Not those parts. So not me directly, but it's my ex-wife actually she was a model in New York, and she was really good friends with Kim Porter, who was Diddy's wife, the one who died at 47 from pneumonia. And I was like, that's what when that happened, she called me, and this was a couple of years ago now, maybe not even, a couple of years ago, and she called me like, something's up with that. I go, what do you mean? She's like, oh, dude, Kim used to tell me it was a bad, there's a lot of weird shit that I didn't even know that but they were they'd do photo shoots together or whatever. They were sort of friendly. They'd hang out. We'd see them out downtown, and I'd hang out with her. Not so much with Dad. I think it was already sort of over there, but she was really afraid of him. And this goes back years. And so and she was having these conversations with my
He has multiple connections with Diddy. Let's start with the connection while he was with his wife. He was sleeping with Aubrey O'Day from Diddy's Making the Band. His wife is, pictured with him and his 2 children. Aubrey, we all know Aubrey, and she don't even have this face anymore. But he has many connections. What do I have to say about this? They left out the beginning portion of this where he said before he went leftist. This gives credence to, there is a subsection of the people who are interested in this Diddy situation, and they feel as though Diddy is the fall guy for larger people. When you have someone like Donald Trump Jr. doing an interview with academics, DJ academics of all people, it already begs the question, why? What would be the point and why now? You're talking about Diddy's political affiliation before you choose to basically expose a story that nobody technically really asked for. Do I believe some of the things about Kim? Yes, I've reported very heavily on the fact that Kim was abused. We talked about Kim allegedly being tapped. We've talked about a lot of things. Kim was cheated on. Kim was basically put to the side for J-Lo. She did not have a easy life as it pertains to her relationship with Diddy. And do I believe that she was scared of him? Absolutely. But the question is, why is Donald Trump Jr. in an election year doing an interview with DJ academics and exposing Diddy? It begs the reason that there's blood in the water. And this isn't just about his desire to effectively let us know that Kim Porter was scared. There's something more to that. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, guys, but that's very easy to see. Why would he, of all people, be doing this now? Somebody said his ex is prettier than Aubrey. Booty Butter says Trump plus Diddy equals cheese doo-doo less. Allegedly. How long was I muted? Hold on. How much of that did y'all hear? Sorry. What I said last was a lot of people do not remember that Diddy had a vote or die campaign. And he kind of became synonymous with young people voting for a very long time. I think it started in like 2004. He eventually denounced Obama and started supporting Hillary. So I don't know if Donald Trump Jr. is purely doing this as a way to kind of remember Kim, even though he's no longer with that woman, his wife, who talked about this story. She had to have called him about 4 or 5 years ago to tell him this. And now you're doing it on DJ Academic's podcast. This begs more questions than answers. Do I think that there is a takedown attempt of Diddy from higher powers? At this point, guys, I don't even know. It could be anything. Is there a reason why Diddy is biking around Miami right now, acting like nothing is going to happen to him? Is there a reason that you had all of these lawsuits out, but you were still flying out of the country with your drug mule? You can't write this. You literally cannot write this stuff. Who who has all the eyes of the world on them is still going to travel with the drug mule that was specified in the last lawsuit where all of your business was put out there for the world to see, allegedly. It's important to say that Diddy has denied all allegations. Is it making sense to anybody else? No, okay. People are saying that Academics is supporting Trump. He said it. I'm just saying that this is a urban podcast, and this, out of everything else that you talked about with DJ Academics, is the soundbite heard around the world. If he had not said this about Diddy in this DJ Academics interview, the majority of us would not know that the interview took place. That's why a lot of times when I'm talking to you guys about the way things work on the background, these people know. They don't just happenstance blurt out something like this. He knew that in order to make a splash with this interview, he was going to need to say some things like this. So for those people who feel like Diddy is, you know, at this point, a piece of bloodied fish carcass in the water, and they're all going to stampede on him, that might be true. But I don't choose to think like that because, in my opinion, I think that Diddy has been getting away with these things for years. So he could very well be the fall guy for more major people. A lot of people are looking at Universal Music Group and saying that this is what it is. They do not care if Diddy goes down as long as they don't. Aubrey was pimped out. Aubrey knew exactly what she was doing because at the time she was on Trump's show, the one where you're fired. She was on that show. So when she was trying to get with Donald Trump Jr., his image and stuff was not necessarily stained back then. They just knew that it was a billionaire. So Aubrey had her eyes on the prize. Now, Aubrey has alleged at this point that Diddy tried to get with her, but that Diddy was not her type, although Eric Trump was. Clive Davis. Some other people are feeling like Clive Davis, he's the sacrificial lamb for Clive Davis as well. I've been hearing that. And yes, The Apprentice. That's when Aubrey was cheating with this woman's husband. And she even went on to write a song about him while she was the mistress. Y'all, let's get into this. I don't know if you guys knew her, but a lot of people did. Her name is Kyle Marissa Roth. She was a very, very, very popular YouTuber who has mysteriously passed away. Now, a lot of people are she had her foot on J-Lo's neck to the point where they were taking down her main accounts often. She was one of the big proponents for J-Lo is fake. J-Lo had more to do with these things. She was the queen of the blind item. What was her catchphrase? Do you want more? I'm going to give you more. She always started with her catchphrase. She was a TikToker. I'll show you her page. What is strange is that she was so young. She had 230,000 on TikTok. She had a Patreon. Let's see. Let me give you a little taste of some of the stuff I can't let you hear because she plays a lot of music in the background. Let's see.
You want more? I'll give you more. I missed this blind item on March 27th because this is from the day my main account got banned. This married permanent A-list rapper met with a criminal defense attorney yesterday. Is he worried about being next?
She did stuff like that. She gave blind items, like she kept her foot on these people's neck. And now at a very young age of 36, she's gone. It says TikTok star Kyle Marissa Roth has died, her family says. The TikToker's mother said she wanted people to live their lives with the brightness of Kyle and her beautiful soul spirit. She was a popular TikToker who discussed Hollywood gossip, died last week. She was 36. Jackie Roth confirmed her daughter's death to NBC News and Today.com and said she and Kyle's sister Lindsay were overwhelmed with messages of support. Kyle truly loved so fiercely. She was a truth seeker, a truth teller. It means so much to us as a family, this incredible outpouring of love and support that the world, literally the world, is giving to us. Jackie Roth did not disclose how her daughter died. That's the first thing. That's a little... When you have somebody like her who speaks truth to power, who people were already starting to get fearful for because of the things that she was saying, now they're saying that the mom did not say her cause of death. And then we'll get into a little bit about the sister also choosing not to give the cause of death. It says she loved so hard all of the entirety of her life. And that's what we are going to miss so much, just how hard she loves. This was what her sister had to say. I'm sorry. This is still the mom's. Kyle's protectiveness of her sisters. That's where I say where she loves fiercely. If Kyle loved you, you absolutely knew it. As a child, Jackie Roth said her daughter loved history, art, animals, and that she wants the world to remember her daughter's wit, charm, and humor. We all want more, and the world is a darker place without her. Jackie Roth told NBC News people to live their lives with the brightness of Kyle. I got a beautiful message from a woman about how Kyle is passionate about the indigenous, and Kyle was supporting on raising awareness of an issue on native lands. You know, the stuff that she said wasn't just about Diddy and Jay-Z. It was like, if she felt like you were doing something wrong to a population of people, she was going to speak on it. She also talked about like kind of like Hollywood stuff. I really didn't get into any of like the Taylor Swift stuff that she would talk about and stuff like that. She spoke truth to power. And I just showed you guys yesterday the TikToker who said that Diddy's bodyguard or Diddy's private investigator reached out to her. Now we have another TikToker who talked about Diddy, who is now no longer with us at the age of 36. This is what the sister had to say. As a family, we're still processing and deciding how to properly celebrate and honor her life. We don't know what happened yet. That's, again, very interesting. If it was something that was natural causes, or if she already had current health issues, but for the mother not to address it and then the sister to say, we don't know what happened. It just makes you say, it makes your ears perk up and say, was this something that was natural? I know she touched so many people with her humor, intelligence, beauty, gossip, activism, athleticism, and more. She told her followers she was there to talk and share memories of Kyle and that she would share plans for any memorials. I'm so sorry to those learning about this loss right now. Any prayers, thoughts, blessings, or intentions for this soul's smooth transition are welcome. Then Julia Fox had some nice things to say about her. I saw that in the comment section on her Instagram myself. Oh, wait, hold on. Somebody said she was in remission for colon cancer. Well, I will definitely keep you guys posted on this story. 36 is very young. You guys know how I feel about cancer. Let's see. Oh, somebody said stress can speed up the illness. That is true. JH, that is true. The reason that I feel like disclosing it is because people were fearful for her based on the reporting that she was doing. That's why. But no, I definitely don't think that anybody ever has to share any type of diagnosis with anybody. You're definitely right, JH. But okay. So I just wanted to give her a proper rest in peace. She was somebody who I was aware of. And I do feel like she spoke truth to power. But let's get into NBA YoungBoy, because this is some trash.
Facing over 60 charges after he was arrested in Cache County.
Kentrell Deshaun Golden, otherwise known as NBA YoungBoy, was booked into the Cache County jail just yesterday before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And according to police documents, NBA YoungBoy is a suspect in a large-scale prescription fraud ring. This ring is known to try to acquire promethazine with codeine. Police also say that they suspect they call multiple pharmacies pretending to be someone else and try to get this drug.
NBA YoungBoy was arrested Tuesday.
Y'all see, there's never a time he does not have his double styrofoam cup in his hand.
Tuesday and denied involvement in the ring. However, law enforcement searched his home and found prescriptions matching those fake patients and prior fraudulent pharmacy investigations.
So if you guys don't know who NBA YoungBoy is, he's a rapper. He's also the baby daddy of Yaya Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather's daughter. A lot of craziness has gone on. He has multiple women all the time. Yaya was one of those women, went to his house, I believe, when he lived in Houston, and ended up stabbing one of his other girlfriends. And that's when she went to jail. Yaya is not the swiftest in the book, not the sharpest tool in the shed. No, but he's had his own issues. The stuff that he does, some of it's just weird. Recently, we saw him post a picture with his family in Utah, which is where he is now. I had something queued up for you guys. I definitely want you to see this. Dude was leaning like, have you ever seen the people when fentanyl hit the streets? I would say it hit the streets really hard a couple years ago, and people would be seeing like the homeless communities just leaning. That's what he was doing in this video. I thought I had it queued up. I want to make sure the sound isn't on. Let me go back to here. Edit, revert to original. Okay, I see it. It's Trap House TV. We got like 3,000 in the chat. Definitely hit the like button. Let's see. Oh, no, that's not it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. If not, I'll just show you from my phone. The reason I can't just show you guys this is because he curses a lot. Let me see. Oh, let me make my thing bigger. This is him just leaning. What is that? It reminded me of when I was working in downtown in my city and the fentanyl epidemic hit. There would be homeless people who would have just ingested the drug and they would be like leaning and they would be suspended in animation. That's pretty much what he gives. So we see him a lot of times with the double styrofoam cup, which usually means there's lean in it. I'm not surprised. And it feels like they're starting to go after everybody. So let me take this off the screen. It said NBA YoungBoy was arrested on Tuesday in Utah on suspicion of multiple felonies and misdemeanors in connection to what authorities describe as a large-scale prescription fraud ring. And he's only 24. Blah, blah, blah. He's been on house arrest for federal firearms charges out of his home state of Louisiana. He reportedly convinced the judge to let him move to Utah to be near a childhood mentor who had historically been an influence for good in his life. The alleged scheme involved individuals calling in fraudulent prescriptions under the names of real doctors and using fake patient names and birth dates. Alleged associates of Golden would then pick up the prescription from various pharmacies. So you're on house arrest, but you don't have to do any kind of like drug test. The affidavit recommends 63 charges against him, including 20 counts of identity fraud, 20 counts of obtaining a prescription under false pretenses, 20 counts of forgery, and 1 count each of possession of a dangerous weapon by a restricted person, engaging in a pattern of unlawful activity, and possession of a controlled substance. I don't see how he's going to beat this. He does have a bunch of children. Of course, the most famous one is Floyd's grandchild, who the mom is, like I said, not the sharpest tool in the shed. Floyd, although he's worth a lot of money, historically couldn't read for a very long time. And all I see them doing with the kid is talking about boxing. So the little kid seems to be on his way to becoming a boxer. But I do feel like, based on what his mom did, stabbing somebody, not being too smart, not know, like, and then Floyd struggling, I would hope that this kid gets the best education and doesn't follow in either of their footsteps. Yes, I do think that NBA YoungBoy is on drugs really bad as well. I saw that in the comments. Italian girls say, I hate that Kim and Cassie lived in fear of this man, as did any and still do many others. You said a word. You definitely said a word. But yeah, and that's not the only one. Let's move on to GloRilla. Now, I like GloRilla, y'all. I really like GloRilla. But with that being said, this was some dumbish. GloRilla arrested for a DUI in Georgia. Cops say her titty popped out. That just happens when you're drunk driving and your titty just pops out when the cops pull. Like, where does this happen? Didn't she get like nude? She got a boob job, right? She didn't get the BBL. She got a boob job. Okay. So it's a new titty. So maybe that's why. Maybe it didn't settle yet. So, she turned real quick and it just popped out. I don't know. GloRilla found herself in a jail cell this week after cops busted her for DUI, and she apparently had a wardrobe malfunction while this all went down. According to a police report obtained by TMZ, the rapper was arrested and booked early Tuesday morning on suspicion of drunk driving under the influence, consuming, possessing an open alcoholic beverage container, and a separate traffic charge in Gwinnett County. I mean, it's not a horrible mugshot. I just feel like at a certain income level, you've been drinking. Why not Uber or call a car service? You have the money to do it. You wear enough chains. We know you got money. I don't get it. But that's not what pissed me off on this. I want to show you guys something else. She was hauled into jail around 6:12 a.m. and bonded out a few hours later. Her booking info obtained by TMZ notes that one of her aliases is Hallelujah, which is her legal middle name. As for what exactly happened here, cops say they saw a vehicle making a U-turn at a solid red traffic light around 4 a.m. So they pulled the vehicle over to see what was what. The officer who took the report claims he smelled marijuana and alcohol emanating from the car and claims GloRilla told him she'd been drinking that evening. But he explained she wouldn't say how much she consumed and insisted she was good to drive. The police say they then administered a field sobriety test, which they claimed GloRilla was shaky on, especially staying on her feet. They put her through the ringer, it seems, making her do the I follow test, the walk and turn, one leg balance, walk in a straight line, etc. Y'all, I cannot wait until this is released on Law and Crime, because GloRilla is foolish as hell, and I can only imagine what she did. On just about all of them, the cops claim she bombed. Finally, they got to the breathalyzer, which the police claim she refused to submit to. During this whole back and forth, the cops say GloRilla's breast popped out from under her clothes, which he had to tell her about. So the titty was just out and she didn't know. Just bouncing. In the end, GloRilla got arrested and cops say an associate came to pick up her vehicle. What's interesting is that GloRilla herself hasn't shown any indication she ran into legal trouble. Her IG is full of people twerking their asses to her and Megan Thee Stallion's new Wannabe song. So business as usual, in other words. People do make mistakes, but GloRilla is trying to get canceled because she posts this afterwards. I don't like it. I don't like it. Booty Butter says glow shaped like Oblina from All Real. Jesus. GloRilla definitely had a glow up. Thank you, Booty Butter. but we can't expect too much from GloRilla because I know you guys saw this.
How talented of an artist you are, how many accolades and nominations and everything you've got going on, at least with what you have planned for the summer coming ahead with a concert and a tour. The idea of them inviting you there in particular, did they talk to you about what they wanted politically? Did they want your endorsement? They want you to help people get out the vote?
Hey, you know, that ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden. But, you know, I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying, talk politics, but I love the president. You know what I'm saying? I love everybody. And at the end of the day got to end.
I like GloRilla. I like people who are unapologetically themselves. But even then, I had to say, no, Glo, no. They should have prepped you better for any of these type of questions. No. And I like her. I like Glo. Don't do that no more. If they're going to put you in front of CNN, let them prep you for some of the stuff. Because the interviewer couldn't even keep a straight face. I'm not making an excuse for it. Not everybody is going to be a political pundit. Not everybody is going to have like 8 degrees like Dr. Wendy. Some people are just themselves. Glo stumbled on wealth. That, you know, it is what it is. But this, you know, this was a mistake. It was a mistake. Let's get on Tekashi because he's trash. It says this was from earlier this year. Tekashi was arrested in the Dominican Republic amid domestic violence investigation. That was earlier this year. We're only in April. Now, that was January. This is April. 6ix9ine's Florida home raided by IRS has belongings seized. So you're not paying your taxes. When he popped out with Nicki Minaj to do like multiple songs, I actually liked that album. It was him. There was a song with Kanye. He was doing extremely well. And then I found out that he had taken a video of a young girl and was convicted of that. And then that everything changed with the way that I viewed him. Now I feel like he's on a downward spiral like a lot of these very wealthy rappers are. Super, super young, really, really stupid. You're not paying your taxes. You're allegedly beating on women. There's a video of him in an LA Fitness locker room getting beat up. It's a lot. He's trash. But I mean, I don't know how many of you guys even still listen to him. It says, according to federal agents, came to his residence in Lake Worth, Florida on Wednesday with assistance from the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office to search his home. Although 6ix9ine wasn't there at the time, details of the operation are unspecified, but it appears to be serious as some of his belongings, including several of his vehicles, were seized. We are assessing the situation and will issue a statement at the appropriate time, said his attorney. Over the past few months, the artist has been involved in legal troubles ranging from assault to domestic violence. From the latter incident, which allegedly occurred earlier this year in Santo Domingo area of the Dominican Republic, 6ix9ine was accused of enacting physical and psychological violence towards his girlfriend, reggaeton artist Yalin. Per an arrest warrant filed by her mother, Wanda Diaz, the rapper attempted to choke Yalin, attempted to throw her off a second floor, spit in her face, and told her that without him, she's a nobody. But where is his music charting? I don't know. That's how they get you. They make you feel like they are the most powerful person around you. And without them, and without their physical abuse, you wouldn't be anything. After the incident, IRS agents reportedly came to 6ix9ine's following his release from custody. He's trash. He's short. He looks like he stinks. Most of the time, he has some form of rainbow hair. He's trash. And even his rainbow hair and it being a wig is raggedy. How you have all this money and you're wearing synthetic rainbow wigs? The cars that they seized were a Lamborghini truck and it looked like an older Bentley Continental GT. Yeah, tax evasion, you can get away with a lot, but don't pay your taxes and they're coming for you. Italian girl say that video was trash and I never saw him the same again either. Yeah. I mean, the video with Nicki, I thought Nicki looked good. That was one of the best I've ever seen Nicki Minaj. She looked beautiful in this video. She didn't have a lot of clothes on. She looked real, she looked beautiful in the video. That's how I knew him. I didn't know him before that. Now, of course, him and Nicki, you know, have since then beefed. He took her, I think he got like the 10 million record sales on that single, and he took her off so that she would not be part of a Diamond album. So they, whatever. Everybody getting locked up. Y'all, I have more stories. I don't know if I'm going to come back with them today or tomorrow, but there's a whole bunch more to that we got to talk about. So like the video on your way out. I'm going to see y'all. I don't want to come back tonight, but stuff just keeps popping off. He does look like he stink. Oh, she said the video of him touching that girl. Yeah. Trash. All right. Thank you guys. I'm gonna see you later. Have a good rest of your work day. I'm gonna try. If stuff pops off too much, then we're gonna have to come back tonight. But if not, I'm definitely gonna see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.